right, it's time for our first local focus segment, and I wanted to go big. I wanted someone that either had a reputation or a title, something really cool and catchy, like, oh, I don't know, New Mexico's fastest man. So that's who I got. We got Jordan Byrd. Jordan, thanks for coming.
Oh, yeah.
Don't scratch me with that championship ring. That's huge, man. That is
Yes,
huge.
sir.
They're giving those out in high school now?
Yeah.
Dang, there's diamonds right there. State champ, of course, at Manzano, and a runner as well, and we'll get to some of that. We'll get to that later. But tell me about, what was it like growing up? Mom and dad. Tell me about mom and dad.
They just kept me humble. They always were there for me. Anything I did, they were always there. Even if it was something little, they always been there for me. My dad, he's always pushed me to the above, so that's what I really thank him for. And then my mom, she was always there for me and always pushed me in school. My dad was always on the sports side, so he really helped me with that. And I'm just glad I had them both in my life. You know, a lot of people don't have the opportunity to have two parents in their life, so I'm glad I had that, and I just thank them all. And my childhood was pretty good. I've always been with sports. I've been running track since I was 5 or 4 years old, and I actually played basketball when I was 4, so it was really cool to have that. And I didn't start playing football until I was 7, so it's been a really busy life with sports. So.
So you mentioned having the two parents. What's the difference there? Did you grow up around some friends maybe that didn't have that luxury? Talk about how that helped your development.
Yeah, a lot of my friends would tell me, well, you're lucky to have your dad and your mom in your life. You know, one of my friends I used to play football with, he lost his dad in, I think, an accident, and my dad would always try to like comfort him, make sure like, oh, you can call me dad if you want. I'm always here for that. And my friends really enjoyed my dad and my mom, so that's one thing I'm glad I had.
So you said mom was kind of the school person, dad was the athletic.
Yeah.
So when little Jordan Byrd got in trouble, which one did you run to when you got in trouble? Who's going to give you an easier time?
Probably my mom, because my dad, he's a scary dude when I was little.
So your dad played the bad cop?
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right. And did that kind of work in athletics the same way? Your mom played good cop, your dad played bad cop?
Yeah, well, when I used to play football, my dad used to always have film for me after the football games. We used to sit there and watch film and watch over my mistakes, and we never watched good stuff, or we never talked about good stuff. We always went over the mistakes I can always improve in practice in that other game. So we always went through that, and then my mom used to always say, why are you so harsh on him? But my dad wasn't really the type of man to like push me to where I can't be pushed anymore. He always loved me, so he knew when I could stop and keep going. So.
And what was kind of their athletic background?
My dad actually played in Georgia, Carrollton, Georgia. He actually was getting recruited from Auburn, LSU, any D1 school you can name. So, and then he actually messed up on his ACT and SAT scores and ended up playing here at Eastern, New Mexico. And that's where we found my mom. And my mom, she used to run track, and she was a really good track athlete. And she didn't run in college. She was in a band and played I think, clarinet or something like that. But that's when they found each other.
So did you get a lot of that? Hey, don't repeat some of our mistakes. Make sure you're taking care of business in the classroom. Did you get that from your dad?
Yes, I did from my dad, because I used to always tell my dad I want to be just like you. But he always taught me to be better than him. So that's one thing I kept in my mind when I was little. So that's what I'm trying to do now.
So what were some of your earliest obstacles, whether it be in athletics or in life, that your parents helped you with?
Just helped me become a great young man and a humble man. They always told me the reason why you got your genes and your genetics is from the man above. So that's one thing my dad and my mom taught me, and my grandma as well. My grandma's always been there for me too. She's never missed a track meet or a football game. So.
So when we're talking about early Jordan Byrd's lifetime, how much sports was involved? So, I mean, did you have any normal kind of, the video games, the running around, any of that? Or was when did sports really start?
I did that, and I had friends over. We always played games, and my dad used to always teach me when I used to play football, just have fun. Don't take it too serious, because if you take it too serious, you might one day not like the game. And so I took that as an advice, and when I was little, I used to just play and have fun, and after games, I used to always play with my friends and go to their house, and they came to my house, had movie nights and stuff like that. And sports started getting serious when when I was, I think, 12 years old. We traveled to, I think, Sacramento, California for a track meet for the Nationals Junior Olympics, and that's when I thought it started getting serious. I took third in the 400, and then I think I took third in the 100. But my dad told me, he said, if you want to get first, you can always improve, and that's when I started taking sports serious.
So when did it turn into, okay, I'm beating every kid on the block in a race, I'm beating every kid at horse, and I'm just more athletically gifted? When did that kind of start to take place?
Honestly still don't see that. A lot of people ask me, like, just why are you so good and stuff. I'm like, I just get it from my genes and God. So I still know today I can still be beaten by anybody. Even when I was little, I knew I could always get beat. But one person that really pushed me and wanted me to like excel was one of my friends. He actually lives in Florida now. His name is London Kraft. He used to play for Rio Rancho, and he was always older than me. And they used to have age groups for track. They're called I think midgets and bantam. I was a bantam and he was a midget, and I think he was 10 and I was 8, and that was the first time I've ever raced against him. And me and him we both tied the race, and then like I think the next week after that he beat me, and I was crying, and my dad told me, he said, that's just how life is. You get beat, you gotta fight from it and work harder.
Now, which sports did you kind of were drawn to as a child? Did you have a favorite when you were a child? And did your parents try to steer you towards one, or kind of let you figure stuff out?
I used to like basketball. That was my favorite sport. And I played that since when I was 5. And then when I finished playing basketball when I was in middle school in my 8th grade year, I broke my ankle. And my dad told me I couldn't play basketball anymore because that's more of a dangerous sport than football, my dad said. So.
Yeah. All right, so we kind of fast forward a little bit. So I'm sure there's going to be some athletes watching on Proview that are like wondering, okay, how do I get this good? Take us through your daily routines when you're in season.
Just working hard, doing what I can do, just going to trainings or finding trainings that I can like really help my speed and then getting me stronger and just lifting more. And football and track is a lot different with lifting and stuff. So for football, I just lift with my football team, and for track, I do that on my own because we don't really lift or anything for track. So just it's a lot different. A lot of people ask me, what do I do? And I give them good advice, but I just take what my coach gives me and I just do it.
I think I remember a game where I was doing sideline reporting for a game of the week, and you kind of walked up next to me on the sideline, and we have our intercom system, and I told the fellas, I'm like, man, you guys wouldn't believe this guy's legs. And after, of course, they stopped making fun of me for noticing that. Yeah. Then they're like, "Oh, you're right," and they got a shot. So how much work goes in there? Because obviously you're a power runner.
Oh yeah. A lot of people don't believe me, like what I'm about to say. I actually squat 530 and I bench 300. So a lot of people don't see that side of me. The only people that see that is my team and my coaches. And when they see me on the field, they're like, "Oh, he's a little kid," but I'm actually really strong.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, when you stood next to me, I wasn't impressed with your height or anything like that, but then the legs, yeah. So, and then your game day routine. I remember I traveled down to Cruces to you guys' game there. And, you know, a lot of guys of your caliber, they have a certain game day routine, and I don't want to say it's borderline swag or arrogant, but you can tell that they're the best player on the field. And pregame against Las Cruces, I noticed you were, and Coach Mendoza was with me, you were kind of just, you know, doing your thing and seemed so calm. You had a calm and ease about your thing. Well, talk about your just game day demeanor and routine there.
One thing I do is try not to get nervous and stressed about the game, so I just relax and just have fun and feel like it's another game to me. So even if we're playing the #1 team in the state, I'm gonna take it as another game and play against the people I'm gonna play against, and just have fun with my team and make sure they're comfortable and not nervous. So I just dance and just have fun with them.
So does Jordan Byrd have an athletic weakness, and what is it?
I do. 400s and ice baths. That's one thing I hate. So that's one thing I could say.
So what would Coach Ad, if I asked Coach Adcox that same question and I said, hey, what does Jordan have a weakness out there? What would he say?
Probably my eye vision. I'm not really good. I can't really see. So, and then he kept telling me to wear contacts, and I just can't. I can't get them in my eyes. So that's one weakness I have in football is when they're doing signals and stuff. I'm always squinting and looking and asking people.
Well, when there's no one ahead of you, right? You've run past everyone. You don't have to see anything at that point, right?
Yeah, that's one thing. I have good eye vision, but looking at stuff, I can't see. I'm blind.
I think what a lot of people bring up about you is your drive and your focus. How much more focused are you than other guys?
It's just my dad's always been pushing me to always stay focused about one goal, and then I set that goal, and then I just stay with it. So that's one thing I really like that my dad taught me.
So do you see that when you've been competing against others? Do you see yourself outworking others? Because that seems to be the book on Jordan Byrd is he works harder than everyone else.
Yeah, people say that. But the people on I practice with really push me. Like one of my teammates, Andrew Erickson, and the other one, Isaac Cole, they really pushed me to excel even further. Even we could be jogging and we're always pushing each other. So it's really cool to have people there for me that can push me and make me better too, as well as I'm making them better.
So now that you've done the high school thing and you were a dominant athlete, obviously in high school, how much did you get to enjoy high school life outside of athletics? How much non-athletics was there?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed high school without sports too. Even though if I didn't play sports, I knew that my life I could always enjoy high school and be ready for college too. So it was really good.
What are your interests away from athletics?
I actually like to paint, and I design shoes. So a lot of people.
Do you think the studio could use some work? Do you think are you free before you leave?
Maybe I can help with that. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that side of me. I like to paint, and I really like dogs. So if I have any chance to see a dog, I'm always pulling up next to a dog or head.
Design shoes as well?
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I design shoes. I've just always had an interest in shoes. Even though I'll spend thousands of dollars on shoes, I try to make shoes and stuff, and I actually paint shoes and sell shoes. So I basically have a business that.
So how can people, if they want to hit you up for shoes?
Just hit me up on Instagram and.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do I get commission for that at all?
I don't know, maybe, but yeah, you can hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and I'll design shoes or paint shoes for you.
Oh, I might, maybe I'll do that.
Maybe.
Next week we're kind of going to get into Jordan's athletic senior year, his recruiting, his decision to go to San Diego State. More with Jordan Byrd next week on Local Focus.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
All right, we're back more with Jordan Byrd now. we got to talk about it. The 100 meters. That's what everyone's been talking about online. So first of all, from your perspective, what happened? That whole mess. Take us through it.
Well, the first week on Friday, I didn't run a good time, and I knew from then that I was gonna mess up the time that I ran Saturday, and so I ran 11 flat that first day. And coming in the second day, I knew I was gonna have to push myself, and I knew the other kids next to me were gonna run their heart too, so their hardest, and I knew I had to go. And actually, the guy that was shooting the gun was really fast, and right when I popped up, he shot the gun, and I wasn't really ready. And so when I came out the blocks, I knew that I had to make my drive more longer. And when I came up off my drive, I knew I had to get my knees up and run fast. And when I looked at the clock, I didn't really believe the time because all the mistakes I had coming out that race was crazy.
So what was the time you first saw?
The time I saw was 10:3, and when I saw 10:3, I was like, dang, that's crazy.
So you ran a crap race and you ran a 10:3.
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking in your mind.
Yeah, and then it popped up 10:4, and I was like, I know I didn't run a 10:4, and then everybody came up to me congratulating me, and it felt really good. And then after I got my medals and stuff, they said that I didn't run a 10:4, but I was kind of confused that it popped up 10:4, and they said I just ran a 10:5, and I didn't really believe that.
So well, first of all, does a runner kind of know in their mind? You have a feel?
I had a feel when I came up my drive phase that I had to push longer or hold my strength, like energy longer. And when I came out of that and I leaned, I kind of knew I might have got it, might have ran a 10:5, or I knew I didn't run a 10:3, but that's what came up, so it was weird.
So to go from a 10:3 to a 10:4 to a 10:5, has that been explained to you? How have they explained that to you?
Nobody has talked to me yet about that. The NMAA, I saw on Twitter, they said I ran a 10:4, and then I guess the guy that was doing the clock or something said I ran a 10:5, and then they said something about the gun was messed up, but I still didn't get how the gun messed up in one race, and after that it was fine, so.
And you always seem like such a level-headed dude. So, I mean, how do you move on from something like that? I know there's been discussions online, of course, about it, but how you seem so level-headed about everything. Every time I've talked to you, what's in your head about it right now?
I'm just glad track is over for me. You know, it was a tough season. Coming off injuries from football, sprained ankle, torn meniscus, so it was really good to finish track with the good set like that.
I think sometimes you see modern athletes now, when they do something great, the old school tends to lean towards the old school. You know, everything was greater in the old days. I walked uphill both ways to school, that kind of nonsense, right? Do you ever get a feel of that?
My dad would be like that sometimes, but then he comes back into the new generation, and he's like, well, I'm gonna have to live off this now. So he taught me how to do that. But I've heard about it and stuff, and people tell me like, oh, they care about the old than the new now. So I'm just trying to do me.
So what's next for you on the track?
Just the Great Southwest. I have that coming up, and then after that, I'll probably be done with track, and then going on to college now.
So how many races would you say you've won in your lifetime now on the track? It's probably been a ton, right?
It's been a lot. I know I've had a lot of lost races too, so it's kind of hard to explain both, actually.
And what do you do now in the summer with your transition from Manzano to San Diego State?
I'm actually training with Jared Saavedra with Athlete Ready, and he's really been helping me too. So he's getting me ready for the college life and getting ready for the workouts we're going to be having too.
So how will you look back on your senior year? It was obviously pretty special. I mean, you're going to have those diamonds on your hand all the time, but how are you going to look back on it? Because it was obviously a pretty special season.
Yeah, I know. I'm just glad I could do it for Manzano. You know, they haven't won a championship since the school was built, so it was really cool to do that, especially being a quarterback for Manzano, and doing that for them. It was really cool. Even though I'm not a quarterback, was really nice to do that for them.
We'll talk about that transition. First of all, how long was that in the works when Chad switched you to quarterback?
Yeah.
What discussions were made? You know, how did you and Dakota talk about it when it happened? Tell us about that whole thing when that happened.
Well, I was actually a quarterback when I was younger, but it was mainly just option and just running the ball because it was different than high school. But when I got into high school, I was a wide receiver, and I never played wide receiver before. And the coaches really liked me as wide receiver. And when I moved into varsity my sophomore year, I actually played quarterback for the first game I've ever played, and it was against Cleveland. And the reason why I played quarterback is the quarterback that was there, he got in trouble during practice, and they put me in, and I was so scared and nervous because it was my first game, and I was playing quarterback, and the first play was a throw, and I knew, I was like, oh, if I throw an interception now, it's going to be the death of me.
So you hear it. Jordan was scared, and he was nervous. So it does happen, right?
Yeah, it does. But after that, they put me at running back and stuff, and then Dakota Powell came in, and actually, before Dakota Powell, we had a quarterback, Michael Roybal. He got hurt in the game and broke his collarbone. And then Dakota Powell came in, but coach didn't like how he was running the offense with him because he was a passing quarterback, and mainly the plays were option and stuff so the quarterback can run. And Dakota Powell has speed, but not good enough speed to run the offense.
You can say it. He doesn't have Jordan Byrd speed. You can look right into that camera and say it if you want.
No, I can't do that. But they put me as quarterback my junior year, and from there they thought I could run the offense good. And when I was the quarterback, I guess Coach Adcox told me that we lost one game when I was quarterback, so he kept me as quarterback my senior year.
So what were the expectations going into that senior year? Was it a championship? Was it an undefeated season? Or was it just, more of the process and everything will take care of itself? Talk about your expectations for yourself and the team heading into that senior year.
My junior year, when we lost to Rio Rancho, it was the semifinals, and we had my senior year, we had a quote called "One More Step," and that one more step was to get to the finals, and then we kept that quote and we used it and it worked.
A lot of teams have that philosophy, right? The Lobos have unfinished business. Well, they never finished that business, did they?
Yeah.
So what did you guys do to make that a reality?
We just worked hard in the weight room and on the field. A lot of kids on there, we knew that we could make it to state and go undefeated, and that was in our mindset that we could do that, and then ended up working out.
Any setbacks during the year? Any teams that you thought, okay, this could give us a test?
When we played Rio Rancho, we thought it was going to be a good game, and then blew them out.
Then the game started?
Yeah,
and we remember how that went.
21-0 in the first quarter. I was like, well, it was shocking, and we kept that lead and won, and that's what really...
Any nerves going on the road to Cruces? I know Field of Dreams, we kind of talked about it on the air a little bit, Coach Mendoza and I. Hey, this could be the game where it's tight and it's a challenge. What was your mindset before that game?
It's just another game to me. That was in my mind, and everybody was talking about the Field of Dreams, but it's just a place to play football at, and it never scared me.
And then title game. We played forward to the title game. Did you ever get a chance to just look out over that sea of humanity? I mean, that had to be pretty special.
Yeah,
that place right in your school's backyard was packed.
Yeah, coming down out of the tunnel to go warm up was crazy when they were screaming and yelling for us. I've never been in a big crowd like that. I got to get used to it now because of college. But coming onto that field was crazy, especially the first play. The floor was shaking. I couldn't hear nothing, and it was just crazy.
And then obviously you guys took care of business. Season finished championship. Coach Adcox announced his retirement just a week ago or so. Yeah. Talk about what he meant to your career and really your life.
Yeah, that man, me and him have our ups and downs, He actually coached my sister in middle school. When he was coaching at Cleveland Middle School, he was my sister's track coach. And so he knew me when I was little. So coming into Manzano, we already had the connection we had. So he's like my second dad to me, even on the field and outside of the field. I can always count on him. And on the field, if I had a mistake, I knew I was going to get yelled at like a dad. So me and him had our ups and downs on the field. So I'm glad I got to play with him, and I have one more game with him, the All-Star game, so I'll probably be playing with him again.
You guys seem to have a very good rapport, though, on the sideline. From what I noticed sideline reporting with you guys, you would come over and you guys would have a pretty open dialogue where obviously you were in clear command of the offense. You knew what was going on, and you guys were having discussions like two adults, really.
Yeah.
Talk about that relationship, quarterback to coach.
Yeah. Even if we go 3 and out, I always come up to him and he'll ask me, what do you see out there? And I'll tell him, like, the linebackers are playing close, so we should run slants or something. And the safeties can't hold Andrew Erickson. And we'll talk about that kind of stuff. And I'll tell him, well, we can do this to make this better. And if this guy can block more or block him down, we can get outside of the linebackers. And me and him had that connection, and then he'll tell the offensive line or the wide receivers what we could do better.
So now there's a lid on your high school career. What will you look back at most fondly? What is your most fond high school memory athletically?
Probably the state game when I scored that touchdown. When I got the ball, I actually ran and saw my players in front of me, and then I was like, dang, I'm about to get tackled. And so I closed my eyes, and then I was just running through and ended up popping out. And I looked up and saw the end zone, and I just ran full speed to it. So that was one of my favorite memories.
All right, so take us through your recruiting process. When did it start, and how did it start?
I actually started my freshman year. During the summer, New Mexico offered me my first scholarship, or not a verbal commit, or verbal scholarship, and that was the first time I've ever got one, so I didn't know how to deal with it, so I wasn't really excited about it. And my mom and my dad were like, you need to get excited about things. So, like, if I win state,
they just saw your college education go off their books.
Yeah.
You should get excited.
Yeah, when I get stuff like that or win, I don't really get excited. But I started getting letters from Washington my sophomore year, and they were talking to me. And Notre Dame was really interested in me. When I started talking to them, they offered me, and all their coaches got fired, and one of the recruits was one of the ones that got fired. And when he got fired, I lost all contacts with them, and so I lost that offer from them.
So what was, I would say, after your freshman and sophomore year, and things start heating up and they get a little more serious, what was the short list at that point? What schools were on the short list at that point, in your mind?
Notre Dame, UNM, and probably Arizona were on my short list. Those are the 3 I picked.
And when did San Diego State come into that fold?
They came in my junior year after football. They called me and talked to me for a few hours. And one question my dad asked before they even talked to me was, do you guys have a track team? And the coach was talking on the phone, and he paused for a good 2 minutes. He's like, well,
somebody tell me if we have a track team. He had to figure it out real soon.
Yeah, and he was like, well, we don't have a track team for the boys, but we have for girls. And my dad wasn't interested in that. And then we kept talking to them, and my dad finally liked San Diego State too.
So, when you made that decision, who was in that inner circle with you? When did you commit?
Actually, my mom was. My dad told me, he was like, just do what makes you happy. And I kept that. And then my mom was, she was the one who came with me to colleges and my official visits and unofficial visits. She was the one who said that San Diego State would probably be the best one for me because they had a 95% chance rate of football players graduating, and that was the main reason why I picked San Diego State too.
Any connections to Rocky Long?
A lot. Everybody in my family knows Rocky.
Right.
Friends know Rocky. It's crazy. The people that I told Rocky about, he knew, and so it's really, really cool to have that connection with both of him and the family members.
So obviously, when parents can trust that their little boy's going somewhere that he's going to be taken care of, how big was that, do you think, in their decision? Is their comfort in Rocky Long?
They really enjoyed that too, especially my dad, because my dad's the one who's always tough on me. So he's told Rocky Long he wants somebody that can push me and make sure that I won't give up. So,
What are the goals at San Diego State?
just eat healthy and have fun out there, and make sure that I do the right decisions and make the right choice of friends.
All right, we're going to do some rapid fire here to close, so no more hard questions.
All right.
These are all right? What pro team would you most like to play for?
Carolina Panthers.
So we're going to see you on Sunday in a Panthers jersey. All right.
Yeah.
Basketball playoff time, so I got to ask, better player, Michael or LeBron?
I'm going to have to go with LeBron.
All right,
Sorry.
all right, that's all right. All right, fantasy football draft in town. You can't draft any Monarchs. Who's the first 2 players you draft?
Keyshawn Banks, and I'm going to have to go for, dang, that's hard. I never had this question before.
Somebody on offense too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get somebody on offense. Probably the quarterback for LaQuava.
All right, okay, all right. Let's finish this sentence for me. Jordan Byrd's game reminds me of?
I'll have to say Madden.
All right.
I don't know.
All right, Jordan Byrd's sports role model is?
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt. All right, okay. And finally, Jordan Byrd's legacy will be?
I don't know. I haven't had that question.
That's all right.
either.
You got 4 years to carve that out, right?
You pick it for me. Let's see what you got.
Well, we'll all be watching on Saturday and hopefully Sunday, right?
Yeah, maybe somebody would tweet me that question. So
There you go.
we'll
All
see.
right. Well, we hope we are going to be watching you a lot on Saturday and
Yes,
Sunday.
sir.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much for
Thank
coming
you.
in, Jordan. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Good evening. We welcome you to the Senda Community Stadium into the Crown Jewel and Coin pregame show. Adam Deal along with Dominic Bramante, head coach of the Duke City Gladiators. Glad you could join us, and happy opening night to you. The Monsanto Monarchs heavily favored to get to the Blue Championship this year.
Bird to push.
Handoff, draw play, touchdown. The first of the season. Well, then in 16. Here's the handoff, and there is some room, and look out! It's Angel Ramirez midfield, and he's going to break it. 25-20 to the 10 and all the way. Shot out of a cannon. Angel Ramirez, touchdown.
Wow, how about that? It's a place for him.
Second down and 10, and Byrd's going to keep it. Look out. Jordan Byrd. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown. 39 yards away, like the flash.
Matadors taking on the Rio Grande Ravens now. Matadors obviously heavily favored. Barrera's going to hand it off, and there's a ton of room out in front, and before you know it, Sandia's on top, 7-0.
Well, that's a quick one to start. Season opener. It's always tough when you get hit in the mouth in the first 2 or 3 minutes.
And then look at this, Barrera's shoulder down, head down, young man inside the 25-yard line, and then eyes forward before you could even think. It's 14-0, Matadors all over it.
Sports Network My 50 TV Game of the Week. New Senda Community Stadium, beautiful look of the Duke City as our first game of the season on a Friday night. It's going to be the LaQuava Bears as they take on the Cibola Cougars. Hello everyone, I'm Adam Deal. That's Hi Roberts. Glad you could join us here.
And trips to the right. There you go. Here's the toss. Down the seam, wide open. Touchdown.
Too easy. Just as we were talking about the trips, there he goes right down the middle. Nobody saw him. Touchdown.
And trips on the far side. Quick slant. That's complete. Look at the room in front. Ouch. 25-30. Nobody going to catch him across midfield. All the way to the 20. A cut back at the 10. And down at the Sports Network, Comcast 26, streaming live on the NFHS Network. Well, the Volcano Vista Hawks going to take on the Valley Vikings. First game of the season for both teams. Young to the backfield. He's going to get it. Young is in. Touchdown. Volcano. Ground and pound all the way into the end zone. 26 in the first quarter. Adam Deal along with Roger Holian. A screen. Nice. Look at this move to
Oh my gosh.
15-10.
He's gone.
Touchdown. Wow. Flores in motion. Here is Moses Young, and he's in. Wow. 15 yards. Touchdown. Here's the handoff to the middle. It's Segunoeku to the end zone. Touchdown.
We are back here at Newsena Community Stadium to take a look at the West Mesa sideline here. It's up being a pretty good game, 48-26 last night. And you see here from Newsena Community Stadium, Del Norte and West Mesa about to take on each other. Money at quarterback. And he keeps the ball again. Ramirez, good run down the right sideline. He could be gone. And Gabriel Ramirez, one man to beat. He scores. Touchdown, West Mesa. 56 yards. First and 10 at midfield. Swing pass on the near side. Bolden gets to the outside. Look out, Brandon Bolden. One man to beat. And is he still on his feet? Yes, he is in bounds. And that is a touchdown for West Mesa. 50 yards, Brandon Bolden.
Hey, kid. This young man here is so elusive.
Ramirez passing all the way. That's up for grabs, and that's a beautiful catch for a touchdown. What a play right there by Cameron Schreier. That's a basketball move right there by Cameron Schreier. Cowboy, the running back. Bahia, he's running all the way. Good cut inside to the end zone. Touchdown, Del Norte. 7 yards for Christian Mejia.
Back at it here from Newsena Community Stadium. You see the Volcano Vista Hawks in their black uniforms making their way onto the field. They're going to take on the El Dorado Eagles. Adam Deal, Dominic Bramante with you tonight. The Volcano Vista Hawks, they're 1-0 on the season, Coach. An option, a little pitch out to Troy, cuts it to the end zone, and he's in. So roll the dice, Stotson says yes, and 6 on the board for El Dorado. We're going to throw it to Sebastian Noel in just a second, our on-field reporter. Here's Smith, look out, a little move and a cut to the near side. Smith, a blocker in front to the 40. A foot race down the sideline. Shot out of the cannon. He's gone. 90-yard touchdown run by the junior quarterback, Gabe Smith.
Talked to Coach Dotson before the game. He really wanted to get off to a quick start, so this has to be ideal. Really, they're just happy to be home because they didn't get home till 3 a.m. after their game against Las Cruces. Let's go back upstairs to Adam and Coach Bramante.
Hanging out with the Hawks, Sebastian Noel.
Which one was Sebastian?
Misdirection handoff on 3rd and long, and it works. That's intercepted, and look out. Nothing but green out in front. Pick 6. Hawks on the board. Trips on the near side. Smith going to set up a screen, and there's a ton of room in front. Look out, Troy to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown.
Volcano dialed up a big-time blitz. Great call by El Dorado's coach.
Coach's District 2 heats up. Here's a reverse.
It's open.
Look at this, 30, across the 20, high stepping and into the end zone, touchdown. Fernando Hernandez, the junior.
That's short. Noel's gonna throw. He's gonna come deep. He's got his guy, and it's complete. A foot race down the near sideline. To the 10, to the 5, and in. Touchdown, racing in. It's your man, J.R. Bustamante, the junior. He's going to quarterback straight through the middle. Vic Garland's in. Touchdown. You talked about it. He's in trouble. Throws. It's intercepted. It's picked off the 6-yard line. Handoff. Fernandez cuts, and he's in. Touchdown. Clock will run again. Go down the middle at the 5. A cut to the end zone. got space. Touchdown.
Both sides of the stadium, people are on their feet to see a high school football game. They're locked in. Wow.
38 seconds to play. It's 3rd down and 5. Trips up high for Noble. He's got time. Gonna fire down the middle, and it's caught. Touchdown.
Mianos in motion moves into the slot. Fakes the Byrd, or fakes the side. Byrd rolls to his left. Complete. Completes. Erickson's got a block. Touchdown, Manzano.
Nice.
So
Beautiful.
a beautifully designed play.
Yeah, he's better back. He was with the Titans.
And up going around left end. Got a block. Cuts it back inside. Touchdown, Dakota foul. To the right. Bustamante will throw. Got a receiver.
There it
open.
is.
Caught. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown, Centennial. So just like that, the high snap blitz off the edge. Hand off to Ivy side.
Yes.
He's going to stroll in the end zone. Ivy side. 9-yard touchdown for the Monarchs. Looking down the left sideline, one-on-one coverage. Caught
There
by
he is.
Crosby.
Wow.
Touchdown.
Nice.
44-yard touchdown. Right. Barnett has time, throws to the end zone. Got a receiver open. Got touchdown. Slant. Caught. Going for the touchdown.
Nice.
He's in. Run reverse Baker, reverse Juanillo. Got a man wide open down the field. Caught in stride. Let's see who's going to score. One man to beat. Touchdown, Mayfield.
Beautiful.
What a beautifully designed play, Roger. Touchdown. Both snaps with the quarterback read. Pitches it out, trying to get the end. Touchdown, Alvarado. Another slant, caught, touchdown. 31-yard touchdown pass.
Well, a good late evening to you. We welcome you into the Proview Sports Network studios here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is the 2017 NMAA Football State Seating and Selection Show.
Motion is Wagley, and it's a play action. He's looking to pass. He's got a man in the end zone. Touchdown! Unbalanced line to the right. Looking to run, and he's going to pass it right up the middle. And he's going to get in, and that is number 12, Billy Baca, who gets in. Who's in motion is Swift. And in the end zone for the touchdown is Baca, Getz, and Fletcher. Looking deep, and it's going to be caught, and it's a touchdown by reserve. In motion is Wagley, and it's a play action. Wide open in the end zone. Touchdown! And they're spreading it out this time. And they're just trying to. And there is wide open. It's number 24. That is Jimmy Moreno for the touchdown. Bears. And he's going to throw deep. And he's going to be picked off. Intercepted.
Hello, everybody, and welcome here to Mountain Air, New Mexico. This is the 8-man NMAA State Football Championship right here on the NFHS Network. Right there, we were watching the hometown Mountain Air Mustangs as they enter the field, the number 2 seed here in the 8-man bracket. And they'll be taking on the number 1 seed and undefeated Melrose Buffaloes. Snap, drop back to pass. Thought about it, and then finds it Casey Reese. Is the fullback. And it's just going to be a quarterback keeper. Sterling Senna keeps it, turns the corner, touchdown, Melrose. Setting up for the 2-point conversion. And he finds him. Coming down with that one, Arijah Chavez. Mountain Air lead, 16-6. Senna gets the snap, play action, floats it out, and he finds Tristan Senna, breaks a tackle. There's nobody around him. Tristan Senna. Touchdown, Melrose. Snap. Quarterback keeps, floats it out. Fraze, it's a screen. Fraze gets 1 block, gets 2 blocks, and he's gone. Championships all 4 years you're in high school, you're a state champ. How about that? Handoff, Chandler Roberts breaks through on the near side. He's got to beat Senna. Hits him with a stop and go. And Mountain Air stops the bleeding for now. Everybody, and welcome in to the 2017 AA New Mexico State Football Championship right here on the NFHS Network. My name is Tyler Ortega, and we are coming to you here live in Fort Sumner, New Mexico, the home of the Foxes, as Fort Sumner are playing host to the Escalante Lobos, coming from northern New Mexico. Having that experience definitely helps, and it's going to be a run-pass option. He's going to opt to pass, looking to the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Foxes! Lined up behind him. And he's going to cut back, reverses field, and he's got 1 man to beat. Segura stiff arms him. Touchdown, Fort Sumner. Single back formation, trips to the right, drops back, pump fakes, goes to the left. It's a fade, jump ball, and it's caught. Touchdown, Foxes going up and grabbing it. Noah Maxwell. Archie led behind the shotgun, takes the snap, slings it over, and it's picked off by Hunter Sturgeon, and he's going to take it back. Touchdown, Fort Sumner. Solo up top, running back to his left as well, takes the low snap, pressure coming off the edge, throws it, and it's caught. Touchdown, Escalante. Hello everybody, and welcome to the 2017 3A State Football Championship. Coming to you here live on the NFHS Network from Eunice, New Mexico. Tyler Ortega here on the call, and we've got a dandy on our hands here today. We've got the number 2 seed visiting defending state champions Tigers in town to take on the undefeated number 1 seed Eunice Cardinals. Bowen takes the snap, he's going to keep it, rolling out to the right side. Bowen making a beeline for the corner. Did he get in? Yes! Caperton walks up, takes the snap. Quarterback sneak, he's in. Sosa behind him, motion man, and he'll hand off. Sosa near side, picks up a block, and Juan Sosa gets in for the touchdown. Play action, Caperton looking deep. He's got York all by himself. Terry York. Fine. Motion man, Caperton. And he's gonna sling one deep. He's got Sosa. Sosa turns on the Jets. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cardinals. Motion man. Bowen will drop back, looking. Rifles it over the middle, it's caught! But wait. Another flag.
Underway here at Cardinal Stadium. And out to Otero again. Touchdown. Touchdown, Ruidoso. Both sides of the field. Ortiz rolls to his right, play fake. Throws over the middle. Caught, first down and more. Headed for the end zone. Cuts it back, touchdown. Touchdown for Antonio Padilla. Stewart will roll to his left. Stewart's looking down the middle of the field. Throwing, he's got a receiver wide open. Caught in the middle of the field. Touchdown. Touchdown, Ruidoso. That's number 7. Layson Powell. Ortiz, the play fake, box step drop, looking to his left. Got a receiver, wide open, caught. At the 10, cuts it back, good move at the 5. Touchdown. Touchdown by number 5, Richard Armijo. Ortiz, play fake, a little screen to Padilla. Padilla breaks the tackle, spins out of another one. 50, 45, 40. Ortiz may be in the open field, one man to beat. Antonio Padilla, touchdown. To the left, empty gun for Stewart. Stewart throws across the middle, touchdown. Touchdown, so they flooded 4 to the left side, and Graham Waddell sneaks across the middle. Second and goal on the 5-yard line. Brennan with Stewart rolling to his right. Still rolling, throws. God, touchdown. Gabriel Dorme, right corner of the end zone, touchdown. 5.1 seconds left.
Summers' first toss is complete, and look at this. Wilkinson breaks away, and he's the state championship up. It's blocked. It's blocked, and it's returnable. Look out. Shoved out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Explosive offense to hand off as Ivory Sod, and look out. Ivory Sod's got some room as he's tripped up across the 45-yard line. Bird's going to throw it. It's a little fade. He's looking for Erickson. Got the catch. And Erickson inside the 20-yard line to the 19. A couple of losses for Manzano in the state final. Here's a toss out of the backfield, and it's complete. And it's Tristan Roswell, and he's going to make his way. First and 10 handoff to Royson. Second effort, third effort as he spins around, and he's got a 9-yard gain. Second and 1. Summer going to toss it. He's looking for Geisler. Goes up strong, and he makes the play inside the 5. Direct to Lloydell. Powers. Lloydell lunges to the end zone. He fumbled it. He's not in. Manzano's got it. I thought for a moment he might have already been. Summer, he's going to air it out. Near side, and it's intercepted. Picked off.
You would really be the man if we started showing highlights of it.
Look at Ivory Sod as he makes his way.
They're still here. They're going to outlast all of them.
It's going to bounce, and it's touched. It's loose. It's still loose. Manzano's got it. inside the 5 to the end zone, down at the...
He's got to be patient.
So 1st and 10 of the low snap, and Byrd's going to quarterback keep it as a design play. Look out, Byrd! He's loose! Jordan Byrd down the sideline, and he's in. Touchdown. Summer back to throw, hits as he throws, and it's intercepted. Picked off, diving across the 40.
The ball with all arms.
Well, look at this. There's your Manzano turnover chain.
Did they get that from your jewelry collection? Behind the center.
Summer again's going to hand off to Williams, and he's got room this time. Williams has a first down and 2 on each side. Down at the 10 to the 9, it is complete. Goal with trips on the far side. Summer looking. Geiser got his guy to fall, and he's in. Touchdown.
Whip.
It's Erickson in motion. Handoff is to Sod. Look out. Ivory Sod across midfield, and he pounds his way. Erickson's going to get it on a sweep. Erickson's got a ton of speed. Look out. Andrew Erickson shot out of a cannon. Touchdown.
No flags.
Byrd in the pistol. Going to step back to throw it. He's going to set up a screen, and there's a ton of room in front. What a play call, Avery Ivory Sod. First down. The arm to get it there. Quick rollout. Smith, he's going to heave it. And this is going to be it. This is for the ball game. Towards the end zone. And that's it. It's incomplete. And Manzano has just won their first ever state championship. The Monarchs do it. The final score, 14-7. And what a game. The blue will belong to the purple.